I got pleasantly surprised by the next two savory donuts here at the Donut Empire.
Next, we do have the barbecue chicken. Okay. And
That's
again,
triangle.
yes,
Looks a bit like a
it's
phyllo.
easier for our customers to basically identify by the different shape. You can see that we are the filling itself is very substantial. Okay, the dough we don't make it basically is too thick in the sense. Okay.
Actually, though it's deep fried, I actually can taste the fluffiness of the dough. It's still quite airy. Oh, there's no filling on mine. You get a bit of filling.
Basically,
Barbecue chicken.
you try and perhaps the term barbecue chicken is like ironical, I could say.
This is char siu.
That's right.
Char
why
siu.
we don't use the term as char siu?
Yeah, why
I could
not?
say?
Why not char siu?
Because as you know, Donut Empire, we are halal certified. Okay, as I mentioned, we all the doveries are vegetarian. Across the board, all the items are vegetarian. So if we use the term as char siu, there will be slight, could I say that sensitivity there.
Besides being sensitive, this char siu donut in the guise of the name barbecue chicken is a honeyed surprise on the palate. A nice mix of sweet and savory. So this gets 4 out of 5 licks on our Licklicious meter.
We've had the sausage one.
Sausage, the curry chicken, and the barbecue chicken, the term, in actual fact, like char siu. Okay.
Yeah, it really does taste like char siu. I was
Yeah.
wondering what kind of barbecue chicken you mean. Okay, so now I know it tastes like char siu.
Okay, last
So,
but
the
yes,
last one?
we do have our Otah. Otah is actually some sort of like a kind of a very localized term in which is slight meat. It's a kind of minced meat and with slight spiciness.
Yeah, Otah is pretty old school as
Yes,
well.
that's right.
It's,
That's right. Mhm.
One of those goodies you have
Yeah.
in old bakeries and all that.
This will be quite similar to the shape of the chicken sausage, but except that at one glance on the filling, you can see that it's Otah.
And this Otah doesn't really have much of a shape, right? It's not like
Yes, because it's minced.
a strip or anything.
That's right, it's minced.
Yeah, it's really quite minced.
Yes.
I can, if you can see from the inside, it's really quite minced. Even if you tell me it was Otah, I wouldn't have been able to tell, because the Otah is usually a very distinctively a strip, a rectangular
That's right.
strip.
That's right.
Let's give this Otah one a try, eh?
Otah basically is a kind of fish. They serve spicy fish, you see. I guess again there's a slight sweetness there. Not too much.
Yeah, this Otah thing is a bit sweeter than normal, even Otah breads that I have tasted before.
Yes, definitely.
I found this good old Otah a bit too sweet for my liking, but for adding zing to this donut, this savory sweet gets 3.5 licks on our Licklicious meter.
Is there a reason why you decided to go old school with your donuts? I mean, donuts are such Western things because the hole in the center, Bart Simpson
Yes,
eats
yes,
it.
yes, that's right, that's right.
And I remember these when I was young, and I had those HDB estates, and they have these old bakers, old bakeries, and they serve these. So is there a reason why this sort of like vintage retro
Yes,
sort of
you're right.
donut?
For Donut Empire, we are basically focusing onto heartland areas, on the family concept. Nevertheless, definitely our professionals, our PMECs, the professionals and the businessmen, and they are actually towards donut lovers as well. Okay, so could I say that is basically not only on towards the families, okay, when we are focusing on, as well as our professionals.
So how long did it take to conceptualize these new doveries, these new donuts? Because they are
these
really
four
quite
items.
remarkably different from your normal donuts.
Firstly, I can say that we are the only one and only that launched these items. Okay, you hardly never can able to see these 4 items in elsewhere. Okay, firstly, lots of actually initial challenges to launch this, I could say. Okay, take easily 3 months or even almost half a year.
So what were the challenges involved in this?
Challenges whereby how can make it taste as alike as meat. Okay, we want to entice, as I mentioned, the meat, those who like meat lovers, I could say, okay, to try these items, and they fond of this item.
We were talking about being retro and tasting something like the old bakeries of found in HDB estates and all that. So, do these are these the same? I mean, in terms of recipe, in terms of cooking?
Definitely different. Definitely.
So
different.
they look about the same, but they're a bit different. So what's different?
Different is look-wise, for sure. All our Savoury's items, these 4 items, are handmade. You can see it's not the kind of so-called mass production. It's handmade. We are using premium qualities. As I mentioned, no egg. Once you no egg, what is the main replacement? It's soy. Soy is a higher, kind of more premium kind of ingredient.
The vegetarian and soy-based Savoury, crunchy on the outside and fluffy on the inside, with a bit of a filling surprise, will make a nice afternoon snack or a morning wake-up call.
We've just tried some savoury donuts, and they're called Savouries here at Donut Empire. Well, stay with me and you'll find out where else you can try some savoury donuts right here in Singapore.